Welcome here to a slightly overcast day in Alpe d'Huez and the ride along channel that you're watching just now. Where as much as I'd love to say people are contacting me about windsurfing skills, about skiing skills, about snowboarding lessons, and all the other sports that I love, the most common question I seem to get is how am I filming this stuff? How am I getting the shots I'm getting? So today, there's a little sneak peek behind the camera, if you like, showing you a couple of bits of the gear I use and how I'm getting these pretty cool shots. Here we go. So live and on board just now, there are two cameras, both Insta X3s. One on the selfie stick out in front of me, it's the 1.2 meter selfie stick, and the other one up behind me there. If I move this camera around, you should be able to see that on the backpack mount from the Insta360, which I am loving. Rock solid. You don't have to worry about it at all, to the point you can easily forget it's back there and just keep skiing. Cool thing about them is it just disappears, the pole that's attached to either my hand, the selfie stick, or that backpack one. It makes it look like a little drone following behind your own private little helicopter. Now, there's different ways to edit this and cut it together and different fancy tricks along the way. And I should say at this point, I've done no fancy color correction or anything at all. All of these settings are standard 360 mod with auto color correct, so nothing fancy, just click auto and that'll do it. That's what you're seeing right now, and the bluer the skies, the better it looks. Complete honesty, it is a little bit grey right now, so you could use a little bit of magic. I could go pop. Okay, what's that? That's the screen swap. So it looks like there's some stars above my head, or I'm in a disco, or something else strange like that. Oh, bang! Back to normal. Just completely auto on the colours. In terms of the 360 to flat, there's a number of different ways you could do it, and they're pretty easy once you get the hang of it. It doesn't take long as well. The one I quite like is where you press and hold the button, and you're basically looking through the 360 camera and recording what you're seeing at the same time. So if I turn around to look behind me, or look above me, or down to my feet, whatever it might be, it's live recording on top of that 360 recording to give you that quite cool view. You could also use the keyframes, the little dots that you have to work through stage by stage. It makes it much more accurate, much more detailed of exactly what you want. Just takes a little bit more time. Or you could use me mode. Me mode is super easy for getting that 360 look. I'll show you that right now. So you're now watching this in me mode. So it's looking straight down the lens, straight down the selfie stick is the only thing being recorded. There's no extra editing needing at all. The key thing for skiing is to make sure the bottom of that selfie stick remains pointed at you, not off to one side. And I say that deliberately because a lot of time when I'm skiing and holding this selfie stick, I'll hold it kind of like this. And you can see it's now not quite pointing at me, not quite getting the shot you want. But if I twist the grip slightly, it points directly at me and gets a cool shot with no editing at all needed. With that in mind, just as I come towards the lift and head back up, there's a link at the top of the screen just now, which will take you to another video I've done showing you how you can mount your selfie stick onto the pole so you haven't got to worry about where it's pointing at all. That's in the top of the description just now. There's a skier's pole clamp you can get, or the motorcycle bundle works really well for exactly that. Let's head back up, I'll show you a couple more tricks. Back near the top for the second and final lap on the ride along behind the scenes look just now. And don't forget, by the way, if you haven't already, whack that little subscribe button down at the bottom of this video and join me on loads more of these little ride alongs. Skiing, snowboarding, and even a bit of biking. And if I get some time, we're going to do some speed riding, some basically parachuting on skis later on in the season. Now you'll see I've mixed up the views a little bit. I've got one on the head right now and the classic selfie stick out in front of me, just to show you right now how versatile you can be only using that selfie stick. So I'm cruising down a green run. The whole thing down here is going to be a very gentle piece. But if I turn that selfie stick upside down, pop it down just near the back of my boot, I think that gives a pretty wicked view of what's going on down below. Easy little change. You could then move it out to the side. You see it's now sort of square off to the side of one of my poles. And it's easy enough to hold both poles and the selfie stick, by the way. It's no problem at all to do that. You could then change it up, make sure it's at full extension, holding it over your shoulder so it kind of looks like the backpack mount you had before, but without having to worry about attaching it at all. Just kind of tuck it over your shoulder. You could even go for a little between the leg view, looking back behind. Woohoo! It's a really nice green piece coming down here in outdoors, by the way. Back out in front for the finish, and a nice big carve or two. Thanks for joining me here today. I hope it's given you a little bit of inspiration on the different things you can use your 360 camera for, and most importantly, why I've chosen a 360 camera rather than your classic flat, dare I say the word, GoPro style view. This 360 is just so versatile from the same shot. In fact, on the homeward run, just before I say goodbye, we're looking forwards in the direction I'm traveling, down by the skis. You get that view. You're now looking back at me. But actually, what's something going on over there? Oh, it's a cross-country skier. That's not so interesting. Something going on over there. Something above my head. Something down by my feet. Tiny world. Float it around. So many different options. And all I've done is hold the camera still in front of me. Anyhow, thanks for joining me on this little ride-along session. I'll see you on another one soon. Bye.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air. I can feel it. I can feel it, I can feel it, it's coming in the air. Remember the time we fell in love. You remember the time. How could I ever forget? You remember the time we fell in love. You remember the time. How could I ever forget? Coming in the air. Come never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real.
Hey.